Hello, everyone. This is Eric Bechtold, Presidential Director and #1 income earner with Lightyear Wireless. Very excited that you have taken the time to tune into this Google Hangout here today. Now, we're going to make this Hangout a little shorter than normal. It's just going to be you and I today talking about some of the topics that I believe that you really need to dive into a little bit deeper in order to really understand how we're going to make this work for you and why this is a great opportunity for you. So, you'll see this little website, first of all, kind of following me around here. I want you to write down this website because this website right here will give you some more information about like the compensation plan. We'll give you more information about the company and the products and all that great stuff. It'll also reset your bonus timer. You'll see it timerreset.com, timerreset.com. So I want you to go ahead and write that down, timerreset.com, and visit that website if you still need some more information. If you haven't yet watched the webinar, that will reset your bonus timer and let you go through that process, and you'll get to get more details about the product. So I'll briefly talk about the product a little bit today, but I'm not going to go into a lot of the details about that. Today I really want to take you through how we're going to make this work for you and really my vision for the team and basically how we've been growing like crazy, what we've been doing, why we've done over $19 million in sales now, how that's possible, and what we're going to be doing for you once you come aboard our team. So I think that's some stuff you definitely need to discover. So hopefully you've written down that website, timerreset.com. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off so it's not following me around there. All right. Okay, cool. I've got this little magic pin that I can draw on my screen, so I'm going to try to mess with that possibly here as well. We are in a live Google Hangout, so who knows what will happen, especially when I start playing around with new technology. But I'm excited that you are here. Again, my name is Eric Bechtold, and I want to go into the vision real quick of really why I got involved in network marketing and basically started building marketing systems. Okay, and that's what you need to realize. What we do here at EB Marketing Group, which is my company, is put together marketing systems built around amazing network marketing products. And I was jumping around and involved in different network marketing companies over the years, looking for the perfect product. You know, I've had a lot of success in network marketing, but I've never really found my home until we found Lightyear Wireless. And the reason for that is it's just a really exciting product that people don't get tired of, and they will continue to pay for. Your cell phone. I was looking for mine here. Usually it's within arm's reach, but of course, oh, there it is. I've got all my notes spewed around here. You know, we're working with 3 of the nation's largest providers. We just signed a contract with T-Mobile, who's coming aboard here in October. So we've got Sprint, Verizon, and now T-Mobile on board, which is also going to be able to open up unlocked AT&T phones and all sorts of great stuff as well. So we've got an amazing product. It's something that obviously, if you've been paying attention, the wireless industry has just exploded with growth, and it is a $250 billion industry here in the U.S., and it's growing fantastically. And in fact, when I got involved in this opportunity in August of 2011, it was a $160 billion industry then. It's now a $250. That was the last number that I got. It's probably even higher than that as well. So we're obviously involved in something very, very powerful. But you know, no matter how good your product is, and no matter how many people are excited about it, you know, one problem that a lot of people have in network marketing is they fail because they don't have a process. They don't have a systematic way to get people involved. And that's what we do here at EB Marketing Group. So before I dive into the system and we start talking about how it works and basically what we're going to be doing for you, let me tell you my story for a minute, and I'll kind of tell you how I came to the realization that this is something that I wanted to do. You see, I bought into society's broken model, and what I mean by that is I went to school, I got a degree in advertising, which thank goodness it's helped me a little bit here, but I decided to, you know, I went into debt and started working for somebody else, and this is what I mean by the broken model. I was working in corporate America in Kansas City, Missouri at a company called Barclay Evergreen and Partners, and it was an advertising agency where we did work on Sonic drive-ins. I worked on Hill Science Diet, the Kansas Lottery, Wells Blue Bunny Ice Cream. I got to work on a lot of national accounts, but the problem was I found myself strapped to a desk making somebody else rich. And I realized that there's only a couple people in that advertising agency that were really making life-changing income. You know, the kind of money that would be able to generate the ability to not just live paycheck to paycheck. You know, I'm talking about a few $100,000 a year plus. There was only a couple people in that entire company, and they were all the corporate leaders in the company, you know, the guys at the top. And so what they had was, they had this upper echelon of management, the CEO and the president and the other guys up there, and then they had all of these grunt workers, you know, such as myself. There's like 500 of us in this cubicle jungle. You know, I'd have to fight my way every day. I'd go through this little thing. I had to swipe my card in, and I was some employee number. You know, that's all I really was to the company. But I would go to work. I'd get there early. I would bust my tail every day, and I would try to do everything I could to climb the corporate ladder. But in all actuality, the way that they looked at me was, I was doing great work. You know, I had a supervisor above me that skipped me on a couple promotions because they wanted to keep me below them. I was actually doing a lot of extra work and staying late and making them look good. So actually, the harder I worked, the more I locked myself into this little box. And I just found myself grueling away, you know, trying to climb a ladder that I wasn't ever really going to climb. And if I was able to climb it, it would have taken me 20 years to get to the point where I was making any real money. And so I snapped to my senses and realized, hey, these guys are trying to pay me as little as possible to make as much money as possible, and that's the model that I'm in. And if I stay here, I'm going to have a hard road ahead of me. And I didn't want to fast forward 10, 20 years ahead and barely have enough money to be maybe, you know, upper middle class if I was lucky. Okay, I wanted to be able to make serious money, so I had the ability to take vacations and do the types of things these guys were doing. You know, I'd watch them come in to work late. They would fly around on a corporate jet. They'd go play golf. They'd do all these things. Oh, we're entertaining clients. They were doing all the fun stuff while we were back at the shop doing all the work, making it possible. So what was happening in that situation is, I was being leveraged by a group of a company, and there was a whole bunch of us being leveraged so that they could make money and pay us as little as possible, and that was the scenario. So I really kind of snapped to my senses and said, wait a minute, if I stay in this corporate America gig, this is all I have to look forward to. There's got to be a better way. And luckily, I started investigating. I got all the business opportunity magazines, which in fact we're in now. But I started getting all these business opportunity magazines. I started signing up and getting on mail lists, and I started learning about the home-based business industry. And I said, wait a minute, this is kind of cool. And I went to a couple events, and I met some people that, you know, I couldn't believe. I mean, I literally met some people that I thought, wow, you know, these people don't know anything about marketing. I've got this degree in advertising, and I know stuff about marketing. These people don't know anything about marketing, and they made $1 million last year. You know, in actuality, they did know a few things about network marketing, but in the sense that I was learning marketing, you know, doing television and radio and that type of stuff, it was a whole different game. So I kind of immersed myself in it, wrapped my mind around it, and then started realizing, well, there's some things here about this network marketing game that I'm not really that thrilled about. You know, I don't want to go out and leverage my relationships with my friends and family to get them into some sort of deal. You know, I was thinking about the Amways and you know, all these different network marketing companies out there that basically tell you to make a list of your friends and family. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to make people feel uncomfortable to buy my product just to make me go away. And I definitely didn't want to join the NFL club, which doesn't stand for the National Football League. It stands for no friends left, right? I didn't want to be that guy pitching opportunities to my friends and family. I wanted to use a marketing approach, a direct response marketing approach, which I started to study people like Dan Kennedy and Gary Halbert and a lot of these guys that knew how to do direct response marketing, like long-form sales letters and postcards and different ways of getting people to come to you as opposed to you going to them. And it was also measurable. So when you did something, when you did some advertising, you could instantaneously see the result of what was going on. So started really investigating what was going on in that direct response methods and how that worked. I got away from the advertising agency, formed my own company, EB Marketing Group, and started building marketing systems. I knew a little bit about the internet. Obviously, I was working on the computer all the time at the ad agency and had studied it a little bit. Also had found a couple smart programmers that I was lucky enough to go ahead and get to come aboard and work with us here at EB Marketing Group, so that we're able to build marketing systems and put together these processes, but started to really hone marketing systems and put things together for people that will attract them in, give them the information that they need. And the whole concept, the whole idea that I really had in my mind was, I want to design a system. I was looking at the network marketing space, and I saw like 90% of the people involved in network marketing were failing. And the reason that they were failing was because they didn't have the capability of going out and talking to folks and convincing them to buy their product. They were going about it all the wrong way. And so, my understanding of sales and the concept in my mind of how people buy is, if you have something of value, and we're helping people get their cell phone service for free by just getting 3 people, get their cell phone service for free, and they're getting paid every time you bring on another representative or another customer. Okay, that's a valuable product, obviously. So obviously we had value. If you have something of value, all you really have to do is give people a process of discovery that they can engage in. They can start going through and getting some information, and eventually they'll come to the conclusion that this is a no-brainer, and they want to purchase the product themselves without you having to go out there and pressure your friends and family, without you having to be some sort of seasoned sales veteran. And I wanted to encapsulate that system and make it so automated that I could feel good enrolling like my grandma, for example, in the system, okay? Knowing that she has no real background in computers or understanding of how all that stuff works, but she had a little bit of knowledge in the sense that she can get on the internet, right? And so she could go to a website if she had to, and she can send email, okay? So just the bare bones basics, you could run a business on the internet if you have a good marketing system like that, okay? And understanding that, the reason I wanted to develop something that was that automated and that easy for people to kind of step their way through is I wanted to build leverage and duplication on a massive scale. And I wanted people like my grandma to be able to get involved and build duplication and leverage on a massive scale. And that's really the key to network marketing. This is so much better than corporate America, because it's not you keeping people in a cubicle and paying them as little as possible so you can make as much money as possible. Here, we're empowering everybody on our team to make as much money as possible and bring folks in, because when they have success, we have success. And that's the whole situation. So I said, wait a minute, if I can build this marketing system that captures the prospects, kind of develops the leads, gives the presentations, automate the follow-up, and trains the new members who come in, man, anybody could do this. And so that's where we started. And I'm on several generations now of building marketing systems, and it's taken us a long time, several years, to get to the point where we're able to put everything together in the way that we have it now. But we've been able to build marketing systems that have literally brought in tens of thousands of people very, very quickly. In fact, I've become the #1 income earner in Lightyear Wireless and the #1 recruiter by using these same marketing systems, and our team is the fastest growing team in the history of Lightyear Wireless as a result of the marketing platform. So obviously it works. It got you here as well, and we'll talk about kind of where you're at in this marketing phase. But I want you to really think about that. I mean, that's what it's all about. You don't want to sit down and write a list of your friends and family. That's not a marketing plan. You can tell your friends and family, hey, I'm involved in this great cell phone program where we use 3 of the nation's largest networks, Sprint, Verizon, and now T-Mobile, and we got our cell phone service for free and paid, spreading the word. I don't know if you want to take a look at it. Maybe you're, whatever you're spending on your cell phone, I'm sure you'd like to keep that every month. Here's the website. I mean, you can share it with somebody without having to sit down over a cup of coffee and force them to go through a DVD or a flip chart or something. All that you're really doing is just giving them the information and then passing them off so that they can educate themselves or go through this process of discovery. And the cool thing about it is, through direct response marketing, we can even automate inviting people to go into the process. Okay? So let me I know I'm all over the place here today. Let me go over my notes here and make sure we go through this. Now, the concept of our marketing system and how you're going to make this work is we don't do hard sales. We don't try to force people to buy anything. All we are is tour guides pointing people at the information. We have honest value. We have a real product. We have great stuff to offer. In fact, I don't know of any other network marketing company out there in the marketing space here that offers a product that is better than what we have. And the reason I say that is because people are already paying for it. All we're doing is showing them how to get something that they're used to paying for and have already budgeted for anyway, showing them how to get it for free and actually turning it into a revenue stream. I mean, the savings is just a tiny piece of it when you calculate in how much money you can make through the leverage and duplication. So your keys to freedom, and this is really, if you don't want to punch somebody's time clock, if you don't want somebody telling you what you're worth, but you want to be able to write your own check, you need to get out of the box where somebody tells you when you're going to get a promotion and tells you when you're going to get a raise and basically can fire you at will because you have no real power in the situation. You're basically, a slave in corporate America. If you want to get out of that, you need to have leverage and you need to have duplication. Those two things are your keys to freedom. So let's go ahead and dive into this process of discovery and talk a little bit more about how this works. So there's only 4 steps, okay, to this marketing system that you've experienced that has actually gotten you to this point right now. And you're actually in one of the steps right now. You're actually in the 4th step, the very last step. But the first step in our marketing platform is lead capture and development. Okay, lead capture and development. Now there's 2 different types of advertising or direct response marketing that develops leads. Okay, one is free and the other is paid. Now paid advertising would be something like, you'll see we have a full page ad here in this magazine right here. Obviously that's paid advertising. That costs us some money to run. We are doing some free advertising for you guys that is paid as well. I'll tell you about that when we talk about some bonuses here at the end. Here's another one of our ad designs. And we do all sorts of different ad designs to bring people in. Some talk about cell phones up front. Some are kind of blind and just playing to people's curiosity and getting them in. We also do a lot of paid advertising in the sense of direct mail. Here's one of our postcards. We sent out these personal invitations. And they're all coded and everything. Again, this is a blind one that talks about, you may be wondering why we went through all the trouble of creating a personal website just for you. So we're setting up personal websites for every single prospect and doing all sorts of innovative stuff. It's a very good question, and the answer will shock you. You see, we've been told that you're seriously searching for a way to make life-changing income, but have yet to discover your big break. So today, we're seeking you out to help you find what you've been searching for. So what's about to be revealed to you is nothing short of amazing. We're in fact letting you in on something that's already exploded to over a $200 billion industry in the U.S. alone. What's even more amazing is that it's increasing by many millions of dollars